Hello. Okay, so I just thought I'd share this. I make a video to share you a little something. I just created a new name strip. I don't know what it's called. Uh, the standard name for it in production, but it's the little animated banner that has your name and other details about you. And Me as the host for the podcast and for my guests. So of course the my guests name strip. I'm calling it name strip for the sake of it now. I'm gonna look it up later, whatever that's called professionally. uh, but uh, but I designed an animated name banner that would appear on the podcast while we're talking, so that people would especially if you're not familiar with who's talking, because I'm not exactly the most popular guy in town. So if you're a new person, you have no idea who's talking in the camera, but somehow you're interested. So you would be definitely you'd be interested to know who that is, and having that name appear on screen is helpful for you. Okay, so I asked my sound and video engineer to to click and make it appear every 10 minutes or so, or every time there's a new conversation that's interesting. That's my instruction. So for now, I'm gonna test it. It's a little animation. It's nothing. It's a little fancy, but nothing so grand in design. So here it goes. Whoop. Ah. Okay, so it lingers a little bit for about 10 seconds. I think 8 seconds, and then there disappears. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm using OBS, by the way. I used to do this. I used to use vmix rather, but the trial version has expired already, and I was considering of getting a license for it, but then I thought I'd check out OBS first. I've been using that early this year, um, until I discovered vmix. And when I checked out OBS, because OBS is free, it's open source, so you don't. There's no subscription. There's no trial period. There's no subscription. It's just free. Okay, so nothing's gonna expire, and you get the full version all the time. And it is it is vmix is more fancy because it has ready-made animations, but in OBS, actually, I just discovered they have partnered with Streamlabs. I just learned about Streamlabs after they partnered. So a few days ago, I checked it back because my vmix has expired, and I saw that there's a new version of OBS partnered with Streamlabs, and it's basically it can do anything that vmix can do. Although vmix is, if I'm gonna compare the two, vmix would be more packed. So basically they can do anything. There's nothing that you can do in vmix that you cannot do in Streamlabs. But in Streamlabs OBS, you're gonna have to do things yourself, like this animated banner, like I just create that, like what I just created. So it's good for me that I am an artist and I am familiar in creating these kinds of things. But if you're not inclined into animation or graphic design, these will be, I would I would say, either you will have to hire somebody who can do it, or you would have no idea at all on how to pull off these things. And in OBS, as far Streamlabs OBS, as far as because I looked at it, I think thoroughly enough to conclude that there is no animation. Um, there's no canned animations program. I don't know what it's called. So there are no, unlike in vmix, there are features that when you add a banner, it is already animated, and you can set the animations any way you want easily. Unlike here, it, preset, that is the word. Okay, there are preset animations in vmix which are not found in obs, because it's free. And I don't know, maybe one day they will have people who can do who can donate free items. Actually, I can donate this if just for a way to give back, because they're providing us with free a free program that's just unimaginable just a few years ago. Um, it's basically they gave you or us content creators a TV station. You just need to provide a camera and microphones and maybe a little studio setup and some lighting. But the the I I'd suppose back in the day when the internet is not the way it is right now, or even before the internet, this kind of technology, the analog versions, would cost millions, literally millions of pesos, probably even dollars to produce, to uh, to to get and have access to. So that's why there are only few TV stations, and not everyone is can broadcast. But now with the internet and these computer wizards, you can it is available for anyone who has a computer that's powerful enough. Well, that definitely that costs money too, but it's not it's not gonna take you millions. Okay, so there's still a difference, and if you have the patience to learn it and tinker and have the creativity and vision to for a show, you can make magic happen. And that is even if you have those, if you have the creativity, you could be the most creative person in back in maybe the 90s. And and you have but if you don't have the means, the technology to do things like this, like a camera right now. Before, you they used film to produce movies. Now you have even just the cell phone. You can do quality videos on those nowadays. And it's definitely a game changer. And it is this is only the beginning. I can only just imagine what how it's gonna be a few more years from now, maybe a couple more decades. It's a great time to be alive, especially for creatives and content creators. And you have basically the internet, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. These are all creative people's playgrounds. And I can ask for more, basically. um, it's up to you if you will get anointed by the public and maybe get famous and have exposure more than anyone else. But you gotta if you want to have at least a shot at that, you gotta at least try. Okay, so that's my message for tonight. This is supposed to be just a 2 minute video. But now I'm gonna try one more look at my banner, whatever this is called again. I should maybe probably should have looked it up first before I started making this video. And one more. That's it. I'm out. Good night. Maybe I'm gonna go play a little bit, but let's see. Bye.